Together because I want to talk about something here. PayPal's stupid decisions. I swear, I don't know if they're in the business to help the merchant or try to destroy the merchant. I really don't even know. But first things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. Our account with PayPal is outstanding. I've been with PayPal for over 12 years. I've been with PayPal before we even had the business and basically involved in screen paints when I used to sell vintage toys on eBay way back in the day. So I've been with PayPal for quite some time. I've seen all different kinds of decisions, some good, some extremely bad, and this one would have to be one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen. I don't know who, where, and what they came up with this decision with in a boardroom. This is a freaking headache. And I love it when they basically come back and tell you, oh, this has always been like this. No, it has never always been like this because I've been with you guys almost forever. So I would know. Now, as I said before, we have an outstanding account through PayPal. But PayPal has now put in its policy, and this is a danger for merchants. Right now, we're going to make the decision today whether we stick with PayPal or we leave them. We're just going to open up our banking accounts and start doing Wix Pay, Apple Pay, and it's the reason why we're going to be converting over to credit card and debit cards only and maybe skipping out PayPal because PayPal came up with a very stupid decision, and it doesn't basically, it hurts the merchant big time. Now, I'm going to try to contact someone down there to figure out. I already know a few people that work for PayPal, but one of the things I'm trying to figure out is why would they do this to begin with? Because it's extremely stupid. All right, so basically, if you exceed a certain amount of sales every month, PayPal will basically start taking any money that you make in that month period time. Like say, okay, in the month of May, you make 4,000 or 5,000 in sales. You can't exceed 3,000. If you exceed $3,000 in sales, PayPal automatically takes any money that goes to your account and puts it on hold. Automatically, right from the door. They put it on hold. And the only way it can be released off hold was I had to come in and call a couple of times and get an emergency release for them to remove the funds and put them back into the account. What ticks me off is the fact that they have no problem with taking their fees out. They take their fees out with no problem whatsoever. They get their money. But they want to take your money and they basically want to put it on hold and say, hey, look, you're going to have to wait a couple of days because you have exceeded your threshold on how much you can sell. Come on, man. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard in my entire life. You want your merchants to make money. You want more money your merchants make, the more money your company makes. So for y'all to take out what y'all want out of the merchant and then turn around and say, oh, we got to put this on hold. You can't touch this money until we feel that a certain amount of days have passed, and then you can have it. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard because you have exceeded $3,000 in sales. We go way over 3,000 in sales. So basically, man, it's a freaking headache. It's an absolute headache. I don't know why they would do this. This is the dumbest thing ever. So if you're being penalized for making more money. If you make more money, you're going to be penalized for it. So how do you fix the nonsense? Well, you have to go in and you have to put in a request. And the requests aren't easy. You have to put in a request to basically expand on how much more money that you can actually allow your account to be able to take in. So we have to put a request in. I think someone did put the request in. Somebody there put a request in. Well, we have to check on that request. And in that request, basically says they're going to give us a $20,000 threshold, which means that we can go all the way up to 20 grand and we don't have to worry about any money going on hold. And that's what I said. I thought that was the dumbest thing ever to do to merchants to begin with. Why would you do this? Why would you go out and tell your merchants, hey, we want your business to be successful, we want you to sell, we want you to make money, but if you exceed a certain amount, we gotta not block your money, but we have to put that money on hold. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. And we can easily, like I said, hit 3,000 with no problem due to the fact that not only our sales are extremely good, but also on top of that, now with the new companies we're dealing with, they make large orders. They make $700, $800, $900, a couple $1,000 orders. and that easily will knock out a threshold quickly. So to adjust to whatever not until we get the whew, man, this is a headache. Until we get the approval for to be able to allow us to be able to produce, have more money on the account under their guideline. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. We get the approval that we can have more money on the account without hitting the threshold. We have to now have it where with the companies we're doing business with, they can't do PayPal invoices anymore because the invoices are going to hit that threshold and they're going to knock it out quickly, and then we're going to be back to like, okay, we got to wait until 4 days for this order to be released and 4 days for that order to be released, for it to be a complete headache. I don't even know why. I don't know who came up with the bright idea in a boardroom. Who thought this was a bright idea? That individual needs to be taken outside and beat with a rubber hose, because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So you're literally penalizing PayPal. You are penalizing your merchants for making more money. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard, to tell somebody that, hey, look, if you exceed $3,000, wouldn't you want them to exceed that kind of money at the end of the day, of 4 or 5 grand? Would you want them to do that? Because again, you take a percentage of this and you make money off of this. You can't turn around and tell merchants at the end of the day that, look, if you exceed the $3,000 mark, and some people may have even lower than 3,000, the 3,000 mark, that this is in sales. This is not how much money you have in the account. This is actual sales. So if you hit that threshold with 3,000, now any orders that come in automatically have to go on hold. And this almost messed us up because we had a major order come in for a company we're going to do an installment for, and they put literally the entire thing on hold and took off a little bit of what they think that we should have. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I had to go in and do an emergency release so we can get the money put back on the account. But they had no problem taking their percentage out with no problem whatsoever. So what we're going to do is with the companies, because we know the companies will easily knock out the threshold with no problem whatsoever. They'll hit that $3,000 mark with no problem. We're going to set up all our accounts with the companies we're doing business with. Not any new companies, only business companies we're doing business with. We're going to do router transfers, where we're going to transfer money back and forth through routing numbers. I'm setting up a business banking account today just for that purpose only. So from now on, all we have to do is just, when we deal with companies, we'll be doing bank transfer through routing numbers. As to PayPal right now, we have to contact and get a $20,000 threshold so we don't hit it and basically end up getting our funds put on hold, because due to the fact that, oh man, I tell you, it's such a freaking headache. So we don't basically hit that mark, because I don't even know why they would put that in there. It's the dumbest decision ever. That's freaking crazy that they would have that in there. But they do. So this right here is my insight. This is what I made this month. So as you can see, I clearly, for 30 days, I hit the threshold with no problem. We had 8 orders that came in, and that is from $472 per order, and that ran up to around $3,774. And because we hit that mark, we went over the mark, we way over the mark. They hit us with saying that, okay, if an order goes through, we have to put it on a 4-day hold. We'll put it on a 4-day hold, or I think 4 days. I think it's a 4-day hold. 4-day hold, and after 4 days, we can release the funds to your account. Again, why? And it's extremely stupid. What's the difference between 4 days and now? I got an order right now that came in from a customer. We got the items right there on the table. I can send them a tracking number, and I can go from there and process the order and ship them out on Friday and be done. But I gotta wait an additional 4 days now because PayPal's stupid decision to do this nonsense. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. It's literally like they are penalizing their merchants for making money. If we don't make any money, then again, you don't make money because you take a percentage of our payments for yourself. So why in the world would you come up? And then they come up and say, oh, but it's so easy. All you have to do is just go in and fill out a form so you can increase the ability to be able to have a higher threshold so you can sell more items. Again, why would you have that in there? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my entire life. So I got to go in, fill out a form so I can add $20,000 threshold to my account so I can basically have enough room to put enough money into the account. That's stupid. I got contracts coming up. I can hit $80,000 in one day. Do you have any idea what kind of nightmare that's going to be if we hit this account with 80 grand? And our threshold right now is at 3,000, and we passed 3,000 in no time at all because of the orders we got in from the for the companies we're dealing with. Easy knocked out the $3,000 threshold, and then we got orders coming in from the customers on top of that. So again, PayPal, extremely stupid move. You know, it's companies. I watch a lot of documentaries on why big corporations go under, why they're no more, because they make really dumb decisions, and this is what destroys them. And this is really a bad idea, an extremely bad idea. And as for those of you saying, well, you just got to go out and fill the form. Have you filled the form out before? Because I already did it. The form doesn't happen overnight. The form takes a few days for it to go through, and then they have to send it to the back office, and the back office has to approve it. It's a bunch of bull crap at the end. So until then, we just have to make sure that we don't sell enough to hit that threshold. And that's stupid because, again, you're basically crippling companies because, again, they have to say, well, we hit this certain mark, we have to put, yeah, we're definitely getting banking accounts today. So that's what's going to happen. I have options on my website that will allow us to go through credit card and debit card transactions, Google Pay, Apple Pay, all kinds of stuff that we can actually do if we do banking accounts. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be setting those up on our site so that way we can basically, if it gets to a point we may have to avoid PayPal, we are going to avoid PayPal. We're going to be done. Because again, this is just the most dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. You want your merchants to make money. You take money out of everything that we make. And then if we make too much money, we're being penalized by saying that, okay, any orders that pass 3,000 hits your account, it automatically goes on hold for 4 days. So you're going to hold orders for 4 freaking days because we basically max out on $3,000 for a month in orders? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. This is what I hate about corporations. I can't stand big corporations because they just basically play with people's lives like it ain't nothing. Now for us, like I said, we can get around. This is not a problem. I go down and set me up a business transaction, banking account set up today. And there's an option on the Wix pages that will allow us to be able to use our bank accounts for basically processing orders. That's not a problem. And with the bigger orders we have coming through for the companies that we are now being contracted with and partnered with, we're going to do all of those through bank transfer. All of those are just going to be done through bank transfer. Because that way we don't have to worry about knocking out or hitting the threshold. I couldn't imagine orders coming in for like $60,000, $80,000 in orders, and we hit this nonsense. This is going to be a major snag for us. $80,000, even 20 grand. 20 grand hits this account right here. We're going to easily knock out the threshold. Not even going to knock out the threshold. They're going to take $20,000 of that payment and put it on hold, which means we need to get that order out. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's going to be a headache with them. I don't know why they thought about this. Who came with this bright idea? So long story short, like I said, if you have a $3,000 threshold or $3,000 limit, let's put a limit, $3,000 limit on how much you can sell in 1 month, which again, extremely stupid PayPal. If you exceed 3,000 in sales for that month, then what's going to happen is that any orders that come in, they're automatically going to go on hold for about 4 days. And then after 4 days, they're going to release the funds and release the funds for the customers. Sorry, not for us. They're going to release funds from the merchant, and then we can process the order and get it out the door. That's, again, it's a real stupid decision. That's the dumbest thing I've heard in my entire life. So now we got to open up banking accounts, contact people we're doing business with, and we're going to do everything through routing numbers because, again, their orders will easily knock out the $3,000 threshold. The orders from the customer is going to knock that out, too, on top of that. It's a headache. Oh man, I don't have time for this crap when I get up in the morning. I got orders I gotta process, orders I gotta get out the door. We got a new screen paint, the Cinemax True Gamer is being made today. And some of it today, some of it tomorrow. I gotta do installments coming up. I got these projects I'm involved in. I got too much stuff on my plate right now, and I gotta deal with this. Is just another headache for me to deal with. Instead of PayPal making things easier for the merchant, they just literally make things far more complicated for them. That's what they do. Gee whiz, I don't know who thought this was a smart idea. What is the whole purpose of it to begin with? I mean, wouldn't you want your merchants to make money? Doesn't make any sense. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. And you literally penalizing your merchants. Because if they make too much money, you want to go around and turn around and say, oh, you made too much money, so this is what's going to happen. We're going to put the rest of your payments on hold, and then we'll release them when we're ready. We're not ready. 4 days they release it. And then you can go process the order. And it's the dumbest thing ever. So what if I get hit with a complaint in the process of waiting 4 days for a customer? What if a customer has something that has to be done, and they got a project, and they need it in the next 2 days, and you put that stuff on hold for 4 days because we made too much money in the process? What are you going to do? So we get hit with the complaint too on top of that? We get slammed with the complaint, and you say, well, you got to ship out the item. Well, guess what? It's kind of hard to ship out the item if you got the money on hold. That's the dumbest thing. Like, you literally set up your merchants to get sabotage themselves. Gee whiz. So I already had somebody I know over at, I got a few friends over at PayPal. I had somebody go in and submit the documents. It's a document in order to get your cap raised to, our cap, we're raising it to 20 grand. But we don't know how long that's going to take. So until then, what we're going to have to do is, because I got 6 orders that came through, they're all on hold, and they're on hold for 4 days. We're going to go in and contact PayPal and get an emergency release to get the money put back onto the account so we can go in and process the orders. Because keep in mind, even we got the money in the account to process the orders. But the problem we have here is the fact that because of the hold they put on there, we can't ship an item out because it has a hold on it. They advised us not to do it. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of mine. So let me get this straight. You take the money, you take your percentage out that you want out of it, and then you put it on hold because we made too much money that month, which I think you would want to anyway for your merchants to do. And then you say, guess what? We can't have you ship out that item because there's a hold on it. You put the hold on it. That's the stupidest thing ever. Yeah, PayPal is going to find themselves in court with a lot of lawsuits, and this pretty much could be the downfall of PayPal. This is an extremely stupid decision. It shouldn't make a difference. Only time money should go on hold unless the address seems suspicious, or the way the money was transferred, or maybe it was wired by e-check, stuff like that. That's when they put money on hold. You're going to put money on hold because the merchant made too much money. That's why they're putting it on hold, because he reached that $3,000 sale threshold, and you're going to say, oh, you made too much money that month, so anything you make that comes after that $3,000, we need to put that on hold for 4 days, and then you can have it back in 4 days. Gee, it's the stupidest thing I ever heard. But you can fix this problem if you go on and you apply for this document that allows you to raise your limit. So you go and raise the limit. What happens if they deny your raise of limit? Because that can happen too. They can sit there and say, well, we feel that you're not eligible to raise it. So you're going to stick me in this limbo nonsense? No, if that happens and we go through the issue, we already put the application through. And if we contact them today and they say, okay, you were denied, they say, I don't know how, we've been with you guys 12 years, we made you tons of money. So again, if we have to go through that process where they're going to tell us that we're denied, and because we know we're done, we're completely finished, which means I'm not going through that crap. It's going to be too much of a freaking headache. It is. Because now I have to make sure, mind you, our product is going to be contracted. It's in the process of being contracted. We're going to have people coming in and looking at this technology. They're going to be buying this technology. Our website is going to jump. Everything's going to jump. We're going to have a massive, huge hiccup that's going to jump because of the companies that are involved in the technology. This is going to be an issue because, again, if we can't get the threshold to rise to where we need to be at, to be able to deal with the headache of, oh, this is just, it's stupid. Why did y'all put that there to begin with? Why don't you just leave it alone, leave it the way it is? Then the merchant can make as much money as he wants. You get your money percentage, and we can ship out the items on time to the customer. Problem solved. I don't even know what that's even all about. That's a headache. So we'll see. We're calling today, and we're going to see what's going on with the application and see how long it's going to take for them to go in and basically increase our ability to be able to sell more. I swear, I feel like I'm on eBay right now. I literally feel like I'm on freaking eBay right now. eBay does that stupid nonsense. You start off on eBay account, you only get, I don't know if it changed, but I remember when I came on, you got $250. You got $250 to sell of items or one item for $250, and you had to be on there a long enough time in order to get your sales to your sales cap to increase. Then they get you a 500, then it'd be 1,000, and so forth, and blah blah blah. This is the same dumb nonsense they're doing over here. You're being penalized because you made too much money. Literally, that's pretty much what it comes down to. So we tipped the 3,000 mark easily, and we wanted it. Now they're telling us, oh well, you made too much money, and we need any orders that come in, we got to put them on hold from the door, and even you have them ready to process and ship out, you can't ship them out until you basically pass the 4-day hold, which is the dumbest thing I ever heard. So you got my money on hostage. I swear, this is the reason why if this crap had happened with a large order, I'd be dragging them in court in a hot second. Because again, I would love to see you try to explain that to a judge, how you took a percentage of my money out of my sales, but yet you put them on hold. I would love to see what that comes up at. This sounds as schemy can be. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't even know. There's no purpose for it. There's literally no purpose for it. So, I got other options. We can make payments with the customers. As for the companies we're doing business with, we're going strictly routing numbers only with them, because they will tip that scale with no problem. And that's pretty much probably what happened. The 3 orders that came in, we had 3 orders that came in from companies, and they tipped the scale. And we took a couple orders that come in from customers to actually do it. We only had like 8 orders that came in, and we tipped the scale. Gee whiz, this is freaking unbelievable. And then they say, oh, well, we always had it like this. No, the freak, you didn't have it always like this. You're not talking to some. I've been here long, and you've been working at PayPal. How long you been working there for? Oh, 2 years? Guess what? I've been there for 12. Gee whiz, the stupidest thing I've ever seen companies do. This would have to be the dumbest thing ever. So like I said, we got the money to process the orders. That's not the problem. We got the money. I got money in my backup accounts just in case for dumb stuff like this. When you've been in business for 12 years and you watch companies do some of the dumbest things you've ever seen, you make sure that you're prepared and you have money set aside for dumb stuff like this. So we can process orders with no problem. The problem is, even with the money in our separate banking accounts, we can't basically process the order because there's a hold on it because of PayPal. So we'll keep you updated. I'll be come on, that's right. We'll keep you updated, and then I'll tell you what our decision is going to be after this, because I'm curious how long it's going to take for them to be able to actually get this raise on our account. We should have been had a long time ago. I got $10,000 spending limit on my freaking debit card, and I've had working capital. I had an outstanding record of working capital. We had 11 loans from PayPal. Every single one of them paid off on time. Every single one of them. We paid more than what we had to pay when it came to basically our monthly payments. We have an outstanding account, and yet we're going through this bull crap. So I couldn't imagine anybody else who basically maybe just starting off with PayPal. Maybe you got about a year or 2 in there. We've been in there 12, and we're going through this. They're just going to hit anybody. I don't know why they came with that decision. It's downright stupid. All right. Well, I just got all my other orders are done. I want to get this one done right now because I got orders just came through. A couple came through. I want to get them taken care of now. So for people who make the orders, don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. And if I'll ship your item out, even though your money's on hold, I'll ship it out regardless. And if PayPal decides that they want to not release the funds, then we're just taking the court and we'll just basically sue them. That's all. But we're going to ship your item out anyway. I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Some merchants are not even going to be able to have that capability. Some merchants don't have a lot of money saved up just in case something like this happens. You know what I mean? The money that they get from the person, that's what I'm trying to explain to people. I said, look, don't you understand how business works? When you buy an item, when you sell an item, that's why some people know how to market their products right. When you sell an item, you have to put in the price of the item on the shipping cost. You have to put on what it costs to make it. All that comes out of it, and you have to have a percentage that you make for yourself, another percentage you pay for uncle, and the other part basically one of the little fees and files and all that crap that comes out of it. So out of that, what you're selling, all that comes out of that, including to make the product and so forth. But you guys are doing it differently. You're saying, okay, when a guy places the order, we'll just put the whole thing on hold, and they got to figure out where to get the extra money from to pay for all of this and ship the item out. That's another way of doing it, and that is jacked up for some people who get it, may not have that kind of money, and they may have it where that's where they're getting the supplies from to buy and make the item from the order. Which is just, I can understand that. That's just basic common sense. Your PayPal should have understood that, but nope, not them. They're looking at it a different way. That you should have extra money already banked aside just in case this happens, blah, blah, blah. Some people are just starting off. They haven't even had a chance to really save or do something like that to begin with. This is why I tell people, man, when you start a business, make sure you don't just start blowing your money just because you make it. Don't blow it. Basically, save your money for a year or two. Don't spend anything. This is why when people like to go out and buy trinkets all day long and do dumb stuff, this is the reason why you'll see Mr. Bird sit around wearing maybe the same pair of clothing and a t-shirt, because I have money in my accounts. So if stuff like this happens, I'm prepared. My company can take the hit. And as you can see, I do pretty good. I mean, if I want to buy whatever I want to buy, I can make more than enough. But again, I don't spend it because I don't spend what I don't need. Even if I had the money, I don't spend what I had need, because I had to basically program myself to be that way. I used to be a person who used to buy anything and everything that I saw because I had the money. Now I'm the kind of person that I only buy what I need. If I don't need it, I don't touch it. But I'm glad I'm like that now because of this crap that popped up. This allows us to be able to process our orders for our customers and take care of them. Now, as I said before, I'm going to ship out the items anyway. Because again, the money's there, it's on hold, we're going to ship it out anyway. Because why in the world should my customers have to go through the bull crap because PayPal comes up with these stupid decisions in a board meeting? I don't know what they would think with this dumb nonsense. I'm not going to allow my customers to wait. We're not going to do that. We're going to ship out their items, and that's what we're going to do. And when their items show delivered, we have a track record of showing all items being delivered to our customers and them being taken care of, and PayPal better release my funds. If not, I'll see PayPal in court. They can explain to a judge how we delivered a package to a customer and how our money is still on hold due to the fact that they felt that we hit a threshold nonsense, that other whatever crap they came up with. They can figure that out in court. Guarantee we'll win that one. And again, stupid decision, PayPal. Very, very dumb and stupid decision. All right, well, I got orders I got to take care of and get them done. For the customers who just place orders, don't worry about it. We got you taken care of. We'll ship you out anyway. We know your money's on the account. It's on hold. We just have to wait a couple of days for us to get ours, but we'll make sure you get yours right away. We're not going to basically deal with this nonsense that PayPal's doing at the end of the day. It's just downright stupid. We have to wait a little longer to get our payments in. Okay, whatever, so be it. But we're not going to allow our customers to wait because PayPal decides to make stupid decisions to disrupt other people at the end of the day that they should not be doing. Gee whiz. Man. At first when I saw the pop-up, I saw one of them pop up saying that you couldn't hit 3,000. I'm thinking 3,000 in your account. All right, we have $3,000 in our account. Then we can't go past that. So I'm dropping money into my other accounts thinking, okay, once we say under the 3,000. No, it's literally 3,000 in sales. If you hit 3,000 or over 3,000 in sales, automatically that cap activates. So we're going to see how long it takes for them, or if we get the approval for the 20,000 cap. We're going to need it. We're definitely going to need it. As for the companies we're doing business with, we are not touching PayPal with the 10-foot pole with that kind of income, with that kind of cash flow. That's not going to happen because we will easily be able to hit that cap with no problem whatsoever. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our banks all through routing numbers to bank transfers. That's the best way to do it. You don't have to worry about going through that crap. You can go through a bank, we don't have to worry about that nonsense. Yeah, they just added another benefit on why doing business with a bank is actually now better than working with PayPal because of this mess. All right, well, that being said, I got to get to work. I got much to do. Thank you all, and God bless. Oh, yeah, we got a gamer screen paint coming out pretty soon. I told you I had to do a gaming setup for that environment. So I have to, I'm developing a gamer screen paint pretty soon. Cinemax True Gamer. All right, gotta go, and God bless.